Yes, so under the DQL, in the select statement, therefore, select is the golden clause that we need to use. We are always going to use the select first. And under the select, or like after the select statement, we have to say from which columns that we are going to choose the data, right? I told you this is the example that we are going to use. The table name is store underscore information, which has 3 columns, and none of the columns are named as the primary key. So no primary key assignment over here, right? It has a city column, sales column, and a date column. In our example, city column displays the name of the cities. Sales column displays the sales figures, and date column displays the some particular dates, right? So excuse me, why they are using this city is to identify, or like is to indicate the places, the locations of these stores, right? To recognize the locations of the stores, they use the particular column called city, right? So in this example, the requirement was selecting all the stores in the table. Or in other words, selecting all the cities in the table. So we have simply key in select. The column that we need to choose is the city, because the city column is the one which contains the city details. So we say select city, right? The column name. Then from, what's the table name, right? And at the end, there should be a semicolon as well, right? And in the, I think I have asked you to write down the SQL query if you want to select 2 particular columns from your table. So in that case, we have to say select city, comma, sales. City, comma, sales. That is how we are going to separate the columns, just by a comma, not with the and words, not with the or words, right? We are not using any kinds of those kind of words in the select statement. If you have more than 1 column to be selected, then it's the column names separated by a comma, right? And from, you should say what's the table that you are going to get the data, right? And again, over here, they have said something, select asterisk from store information, another query. So it says select asterisk indicates all the columns, right? Always remember in SQL, to select all the columns from the table, it's the asterisk mark that we are using, right? It's only the asterisk mark. There is no any substitute regarding the asterisk, right? So if you want to say select all the columns, we have to say select asterisk from store information. That is how we are going to indicate it, right? So when you say select asterisk from store information, it's going to show you the entire table again, right? Because we are asking to select all the table, select all the data of the table, right? Now, if we compare that thing with the tables that we have created, right? Now I'll use my database which has the data, class info, student info, and this particular one. Right now, if I want to select all the details from the class info table, what I can do is I can say select. I can use asterisk. Then I can use from. Then I can say the table name, which is the class info, right? Now, if I run this, I can run it from here. You will see I will be getting a table which has class info, or like which is the data which indicates the class infos, right? Here we go, right? So in this table, it has CID, CNAME, and TID, which has C001, Z002, Z003, 4, and 5, right? And the relevant teachers have been assigned over there as well, right? And if I want to select only the CNAMEs, class names, what I can do is I can say select CNAME, right? The specific column name from class info, right? So if I run it, I will only get the CNAME column. So it has maths, commerce, arts, bio, and technology, right? If I need to choose two columns, like let's say I need CID and CNAME, so I can give CID, comma, CNAME from class info. So if I run this, I will be getting both CID and the CNAME columns as it shows. Right? Is that clear, everyone? Yes, people, is that clear? Right, great, great. Okay, hold on a second, people. Right. So then I think I have talked about the distinct keyword as well, right? Distinct keyword will help you to make your output have only unique values, right? Now, if you think about this particular output, which happens due to this particular SQL query, select city from store information. So what it does, what it did was, it selects the city column. So Colombo, Gampaha, Colombo, Batiklo will be shown over here. So you can see Colombo, there are two entries which are duplicating with each other, right? So if we want to get rid of duplications, distinct is the word or the phrase that we are going to keyword or the key phrase which helping us to do that. So what we have done is we have written the same query with select distinct, then we say city. So when you use the distinct keyword before a particular column name, that is how we are going to use the distinct keyword, because you are going to distinct some particular column. So you have to use the distinct keyword with that some particular column, right? So select distinct city from store information, right? So once it is done, you will be getting an output with unique values. So no Colombo is repeated like it shows on the last output, right? Which shows over here, right? So distinct keyword will allow you to choose the items uniquely. So that means if the same item is going to be captured again, it will not considered. All right, people, are we clear up to that point? Everyone? Right, okay. So today we are going to talk about the where statement, right? Oh yes, hold on. Before we move to the where statement, did we didn't finish about the statement regarding the select, right? Let me see. Yeah, 14, 15. 16. Yeah. Yes. Now you can try the questions 14, 15, and 16. View all the details of the student in the student info table. View class name and class ID from class info table. View address where students are traveling from. Addresses where students are traveling from. Right? Just see whether you can write it. I'll do it within 5 minutes. 12:16 by 12:21, not 21. Yes, 21. I'm going to do it. All right. Are we done? Do you need more time? People? Anyone who needs more time? Okay, so the first question, it is asking view all the details of the students in student info table. So that means you are asking to show all the details of the student table. Then how it's going to be? Select asterisk from student info, right? Now, since the table names are given, you have to use the specific table names, right? So it is there in your book with the exercises, right? At the top of the table, there are specific names. See, student teacher, student underscore teacher, right? Teacher underscore info likewise, right? So this is student underscore info. So you have to use the specific name. So once you done this, if you run that, you can see all the details of all the students, right? So there it goes. So this should be your answer for the, what is the question number? Question number 8. No, not 8. I'm sorry, my bad. Question number 14. Right. And question number 15, it says view class name and class ID. View class name and class ID from class info table. I think we have typed this earlier as well. So, but I will type it. Select. Now, we don't have something called class name. In our database, it is CNAME. So you have to take the specific column name, CNAME, comma, what is the order that they are asking for? Class name and class ID. So if they're asking like that, it's better you give CNAME and CID. Because in the question they have asked class name and class ID. Right? Then you have to say from class info table. Right? So if I run it, I will be getting CNAME first, CID next. Right? So according to that, my output will be created. Right? So there is no rule that you need to write this for 2 lines. You can write it in a 1 single line because the SQL will be terminated by this particular character, semicolon. Right? So semicolon එක තියෙන තැනින් තමයි statement එක ඉවරයි කියලා ඒගොල්ලෝ අදහස් කරන්නේ. Right? ඒ නිසා ඔබ කැමති විදිහකට ලියන්න පුළුවන්. කියන්නේ පිළිවෙලට ලියවෙන්න ඕනේ. එක පේලියක හෝ පේලි දෙකක හෝ තුනක කැමති විදිහට ලියන්න පුළුවන්. No problem. So this is the answer for the 15th one. In the 16th one, view addresses where students are traveling from. Right? So address, neda apita addresses කියලා කිව්වම ඔතකින් මම මේ සිංහල මීඩියම් එකක් ගන්න මේක ඒතර මට ලේසි දෙපැත්තට tables මාරු කර කර ඔයගලන්ට පෙන්න යනවා. Yes. So if you think about the addresses, this is the column. This column, it shows the addresses. And you can see there are duplicates. Then question එකේදී specifically කියලා නැහැ to show the addresses in a unique way. Right? We view addresses where students are traveling from. But in practically, they are just asking what are the addresses that the students are traveling, right? So you don't need to repeat the same city again and again or the same address again and again, right? So you can write it, it's better you write it with the distinct keyword, right? So if we want to capture the address, what we have to say, right? Select address from student info, right? Now, if you run this, you will be getting all the address, Kottava, Homagama, Colombo, again, Kottava, Homagama, Colombo. So there will be 6 things. There will be 6 details. See? Likewise. Right? But if you use the distinct keyword, right, then say select it from the student info, then you will get in only 3 separate addresses because the duplications were there. Right? So this is a much better answer. All right. So if you got any mistakes, please correct it. All right. Are we clear with this, everyone? Okay. Right. So I am moving forward. Yeah. Anyone who is still writing on the screen? Okay. Then තේරෙන්නේ නැති කොතනක හරි තියෙනවා ළමයි disturb කරලා අහන්න, right? All right. So here I'm moving to the next one. All right. So here we are going to talk about the where statement. Now, when it comes to the where statement, this where is the statement which help us to put some conditions into our selection. Right now, so far, if they ask us to select something, entire column will be get selected. Right? So now think about an example, like if we need to figure out who are the students traveling from Kottava, right? So in that case, we can't show the entire details or like entire record inside the student table. You have to filter the students who are traveling from Kottava, then those details should be shown, right? So condition kind of things can be handled by the where clause. And where clause comes after select and from, right? You have to write the select, you have to write from, those two are must. Then after you can find a where clause, right? So here in this example, what they are trying to do is, they are trying to select the stores which sales about 1,000, right? So from this table, the table name is store information. From there, they have to find, they are trying to figure out the cities which have done the sales larger than 1,000, right? So how they have said is select. So they only need to select the stores where sales about 1,000, right? Then ඔයාලා මේ table එක දීලා ඔයගලගෙන් ඇහුවොත් find me the stores or the cities which has sales larger than 1,000. කියලා ඇහුවොත් ඔයගොල්ලෝ උත්තර දෙන්නේ, right? It is Colombo and Galle, right? Colombo has 1,500, Galle has 1,700. Right, Colombo මෙතනත් sale එකක් කරලා තියෙනවා. So definitely it's larger than 1,000. But here when you are comparing, this record will not be considered. This is the one which we'll consider an taken that is larger than 1,000, as well as this. Right, so that means only Colombo and Gold should be there as it shows. So that this is how it is going to be asked. Select city from store information, the table name, where, so this is where we are going to introduce the condition. You have to say where, what was the condition? Sales larger than 1,000, should be sales which is above 1,000. So where sales larger than 1,000. Right, so when sales are larger than 1,000, so it checks for the cities from this table store information where sales are larger than 1,000. So it's 1,500 is larger than 1,000, so Colombo is selected. 250 is not larger than 1,000, ignored. 300 is not larger than 1,000, ignored. 1,700 is larger than 1,000, selected the goal city. So output is generated like this, right? Because they are showing the city column, but with this condition. So the column name will be at the top. People, is that clear? Right. Okay. So then we are going to find about and or keywords. Now remember this and or keywords, they generally use to compare some particular things, right? Or in case if you want to give more than one particular condition, you have to use that, right? So let's see how this is going to be used. So the AND clause or clause is going to use after the where clause, right? So when we have more than one condition, we can either go with the AND or according to the requirement, right? Now, let's look at the example. In the example, it says, this is the requirement. We may wish to select all cities with sales greater than 1,000 or cities with sales less than 500, but greater than 275. Right, so what they have done over here is they have said select city, because they need to select the cities, but the condition is sales must be greater than 1,000 or sales should be in between 500 and 275. So so in select, they are asking to select city from store information where sales larger than 1,000. It says O, right? Then within bracket, it says sales less than 500 and sales larger than 275. So in the highlighted part, from the highlighted part, it selects me the values which are less than 500 but larger than 275. So that is where you have used the AND clause. So both the operands, or like both the conditions at two sides of it must be satisfied, right, to find any particular output. When it comes to the O, either of the conditions. Either sales must be larger than 1,000. Or sales should be in between 500 to 275. Right, so this is how we are going to write it. So select city from store information where sales larger than 1,000, it's a one particular condition, or sales less than 500 and sales larger than 275. So it choose the cities, which is the Colombo and Goa. People, is that clear? Okay. Right. And the in statement, now in statement can be choose or can be used to give different values for a one particular condition, right? So now let's look into the example. In the example, their need is they need to take all the records from the store Colombo and Gampaha, right? The cities which located in Colombo and Gampaha, right? Now here in this table, it contains 4 different records: Colombo, Gampaha, Ball, Batiklo. So from that, you can write the same query using the using an and as well, right? So you can say select asterisk from store information where city equals Colombo or city equals Gampaha. So city eka Colombo wana or city eka Gampaha wana ඒ වගේ ඔක්කොම records ටික තෝරලා දෙන්න. But it can be done in more shorter manner if you use in. Right? Then you can say select everything from store information, the table name, where city equals Colombo. Why it is being indicated within inverted commas, single quotes? That's the way it is being indicated, right? If it is not a numerical value, then you have to indicate it within single quotes. If you use double quotes, then they are going to put it as a wrong one, right? So you have to say from store information where city in Colombo, comma, Gampaha. So it means where city equals Colombo and city equals Gampaha. Are we clear, people? Is that clear? Right. Yes, then we can talk about the between. Between is to indicate a range, right? So remember, range can be given to the values or to the data which can indicate a range. Then අපිට නමකට කවදාවත් range එකක් දෙන්න බෑ. සමාන් සහ නිමල් අතර කියලා range එකක් තෝරන්න බෑ. We can easily give a range for a numerical value in between 100 to 200, right? Or else we can give a date range, a month range kind of things, right? So those can be taken with the range. Right, so how they are going to use the between statement. So the requirement is they need to view all the details, which details of sales, which happens in between these two dates, January 6, 1999 and January 10th, 1999. Right, so what they are saying is select asterisk, since it is asking you to show everything, from store information, that means this table, right? So you can say select all from store information where date. Now, to where you are going to use the between keyword, that column must be indicated first. Where date between, so they define a particular days. Right, so you have to say Jan 6, 1999 and Jan 10, 1999. Yes, are we clear with it, people? All right. So that is how the between is working. And always remember, when you say between, and close is a must. මොකද අපිට range එකක් දෙන්න බෑ and එක නැතුව. Right? So you have to say select everything from store information where date is the one which we are going to check for the range. Excuse me. Between this date and this particular date. Then you are getting a semicolon. I'm sorry. Right, so from this table, they have chosen these three records as the result because this is not in that relevant date range. Okay, so with that, you can go for the questions. We did 14th, 15th, and 16th. So you have to do 17th, 18th, 19th, 20. Right, so you can go with, yeah, 17, 18, and 19, as well as 20. Okay, give it a try. I'm going to discuss it within another, 6 minutes. It's 12:44. By 12:50, I'm going to discuss it. Yes, people, are we done? Anyone who needs more time? Okay, so the 17th question, they are talking about view details of the student who are traveling from either Colombo or Jaffna. Now, be very careful, this kind of a question. Now, in your question, there is no city called Jaffna, but that doesn't matter. The question is asked on that manner. So we have to write a query which is suitable for the request, right? So I'm going to view the details of the student. If they say details of the students, that means they haven't mentioned you what kind of details that you need to show. So in that case, you have to show all the details regarding a particular student, right? So that means if the Saman is qualified, this entire line should be shown. If Kamal is qualified, this particular line should be shown, right? So we can't say it is a specific thing, right? So the question is view details of the student who are traveling from either Colombo or Jaffna. So how we are going to write that? We have to say select all. Why we are saying select all? All the details of the record will be chosen, right? For a particular record, entire detail should be chosen. So select all from student info. Then we can take the where clause, where right? So question is view details of the student who are traveling from either Colombo or Jaffna. Yes. Where address equals Colombo, and when you are writing a value, if it is a string value, always remember you must use single quotes. Double quotes use කරන්න යන්න එපා. සමහර අවුරුදු වල වැරදි දාලා තියෙනවා. Where address equal Colombo or address equals Jaffna, right? So let's run this and see. Yeah. So in your database, there is only 2 people who are coming from Colombo. No one is coming from Jaffna. So they have chosen the S003, the S006 records because the address equals to Colombo. So if you want to find out the people who are traveling from Colombo and Kottava, this Jaffna can be changed into Kottava. So if you run that, you'll be getting 4 records. Saman, Kamal, Malani, and Hamsi, if it is Kottava and Colombo. People, are we clear with this? Yes, everyone? Is that clear? ළමයි ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් අනිවාර්යෙන් අහන්න. Right? Can we choose the clause and over here or වෙනුවට and එකක් පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්ද? If we choose and, then what's going to happen? Then address must be a Colombo as well as Kottava. දෙකම තියෙන්න බෑනේ, ඒක possible නෑ. right? Address එක කොළඹොත් වෙන address එක කොට්ටාවෙත් වෙන කියලා කෙනෙක් අපිට හොයන්න බෑ. That is why we are choosing O keyword. Right? And the semicolon must be there at the end. Semicolon එක නැතුව වැඩ කරනවා. But when you are writing it to the examination, it is a must. Yes, is this clear? Everyone, is it clear? ළමයි මාව ඇහෙනව නේද? Clearද? Okay, right, okay. Right, so that's going to be the answer for the 17th. And in the 18th, they're asking view details of male students who are traveling from Kottava. Right, so you have to choose the details of the male students who are traveling from Kottava. So if you look into the table, male students are these three, right? From there is only one who is traveling from Kottava. So in your answer, only one record must be there. There's another one traveling from Kottava, but he is a female, right? So how we are going to write this? We have to say again, select asterisk from student info, from student underscore info, because we are going to select the entire thing, where what? Gender equals M, right? And here we must use and. මොකද අපිට දෙන්නම satisfy වෙන්න ඕනේ. Gender එක M වෙන්නත් ඕනේ, address එක කොට්ටාව වෙන්නත් ඕනේ. Both the operands, both the conditions should be satisfied. And the address equals kotta and the semicolon. So if I run this, there you go. Right? If we choose O instead of and, what could be the result? You are going to receive the students, the details of the student who is gender is male, that means M, or if someone travels from Kottava, then that is also going to be received if you choose the O. See? Oh, are they giving me some particular? Yes, why is that? සමහර වෙලාවට SQL මෙහෙම හිර වෙනවා. කොතනද? Gender equal M, O address equals Kottava. You have an SQL syntax check manual person. Near line 1. Gender equals M. Yeah, okay. ඒක සමහර වෙලාවට එයාට පොඩ්ඩක් figure out කරගන්න ටික වෙලාවක් යනවා. ඒක නිසා errors එන්න සමහරලාට දෙනවා. So there is no wrong with the query that we have written. Right? So see, now they have chosen the people who are coming from Kottava. Right? The may output එකේ records තියෙනවා 4ක්. 1, 2, 3 කියන තුන් දෙනාම තෝරලා තියෙනවා. It is because the gender is male. And other than that, මාලනීව තෝරලා තියෙනවා since she is traveling from Kottava. That happens when you choose O. ඕක නෙවෙයි අපිට ඕන උත්තරේ. We are using and. We must satisfy both the conditions. So then this one will be the answer, the correct answer. Is that clear, everyone? Right. So if you got any mistakes, it's time for you to do the changes. You can share with mom, yes. So the next question, they are specifically telling you to use the in keyword, right? So view details of the student who are traveling from Kottava and Homagama, right? It's better we change this and word into O people. එතන හදාගන්න ළමයි. එක question එක වැරදි අහලා තියෙනවා. View details of the student who are traveling from Kottava or Homagama using in keyword in the query. Right, so you can go with the same query over there, right? Select asterisk from student info where, so we have to take what? Address, and we have to use in keyword. In, within brackets, you can tell what were the things, Kottava Homagama, right? So Kottava, comma, Homagama. Right, so select asterisk from student info where address in Kottava, comma, Homagama. So if you run this, I guess wait until it figures that out. Yeah, it's the same thing that they are saying. We give it select asterisk from student info where address in. Give us something. Oh, some error is saying, where is that? Let me check the syntax. If anything goes wrong. where and or in sentence. Yeah, it goes the same way. Let's see. Address here and semicolon. Let me put a semicolon. Yes, I think it's the semicolon that they are worrying about. Yeah, so here it comes. So it has how many? 1, 2, 4, and 5. Yeah, 4 records is given as an output. Right, so the address is either the Kottawa or Homagam. Right, so this is the one that you have to type in. Right, and if you got any mistakes, you can do the corrections. Right, and the next one, the 20th, right? And it is asking view details of the students born in the months of May and June. So you have to be careful when you are dealing with this. They are asking the details of the student born in the month of May and June. So it's a date range that we are going to talk about. So you can use the between keyword. So you have to say from, the date range must be arranged or introduced as the 1st of May and until the 30th of June. Right? So if you consider about the this table, these two students are need to be captured. So they are in the month of May and June. So since it says in the month of May and June, you have to have it in your mind. It should be from 1st of May and the 30th of June. Right? So how we are going to say, were they only asking about the, they are asking about the details, right? So again, select all from student info, where this is the place that's going to change, where date between and you have to say, you have to give the correct date format. Maybe they know, right? So we have to say 2010 05 01 and 2010 06 30. Right? So let's see. Okay. What does it say now? Oh, yes. My bad. This is not the date. අපේ date එක කොහෙද තියෙන්නේ? It's under the DOB column, right? So where this should be DOB, right? අපි මෙතන කියන්න ඕනේ what is the column that we are going to affect this range. right? So select everything from student info where the date of birth column has the dates in between these two, right? Now it says something else. What is this? Yes, it's bit. This should be since it is a date format, it's better we put it inside the single quotes. Yeah. So there it goes. Right, only Hamsi and Durga is selected. So this is the way that we are going to write it. Select asterisk from student info where DOB between this date and this date. That is why I told you, if the values are going to be not a numeric, you must use single quotes, right? Value එකක් number එකක් තියෙන වෙලාවට විතරයි අපි single quotes පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ නැත්තේ. අනිත් ඕනම වෙලාවක we have to use single quotes for any other particular values. Okay, so correct it if you got any mistakes. And are you clear up to this point, people? Are we clear up to this point? Okay. So I'll give you a minute. Mark any corrections. All right. So the next, we are going to learn about the like statement. Right? Like statement. So like statement, excuse me. Yeah, in the like statement, so far in the statements that we were using, we knew what kind of values that we are going to use, right? Hey Shani, I'm posting the recordings in the website. So then you can refer the website. I'll send you the link as well, Dua. Right? Yes. People, so far, when we are like talking about a value, we are just, we know about the value. Value එක මොන වගේද කියලා අපි දන්නවා. Date එකක් නම් හරියටම date එක මොකක්ද? නමක් නම් නම මොකක්ද කියලා අපි දන්නවා. Right? The like statement is there to use if we really don't know what kind of values that we are going to deal with. Right? අපිට උදාහරණයක් විදිහට නමක් අපිට search කරන්න ඕනේ නම පටන් ගන්න S අකුරෙන් කියලා අපි දන්නවා. But we don't know what's the name is. Right? So in those cases, we can choose the like statement to give that kind of a sequence or like a SQL statement. So how we are going to write this? We have to say from where we need to select the data. So with the select statement and with the column names. And we have to say from which table that we are going to choose. And in the where statement, we have to say the column name and what should be the like pattern. Now there are like patterns. There are 4 types of like patterns over here. Now how these patterns are working. Now if you know the starting character and the ending character, or like if you know some particular characters in the value, එක start එකයි end එකයි වෙන්න උවමනාවක් නැහැ, right? හැබැයි ඔය exactly ඒ character එක තියෙන තැන දන්නවා, right? ඒ කියන්නේ ඔය දන්නවා නම් S අකුරෙන් පටන් අරන් A අකුරෙන් ඉවර වෙනවා. ඊළඟට characters ගානක් දන්නවා නම් මේ first pattern එක use කරන්න පුළුවන්. Now, if you write the pattern like this, A_Z. එහෙම ලිව්වොත් making indicate කරන්නේ this word is a 3-letter word. අකුරු 3ක වචනයක්. It is starting from A, ending from Z. මැද තියෙන අකුර කැමැති එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට මේකට ABZ කියන එක්කෙනා capture වෙනවා, A2Z කියන එක්කෙනා capture වෙනවා, මේ AKKZ කියලා එක්කෙනෙක් හිටියොත් එයාව capture වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද මෙයාගේ A වලින් පටන් අරන් Z වලින් ඉවර වුණාට characters ගාන වෙනවා. Right? So underscore indicates a character. Right? එතකොට ඔයා දන්නේ නම A අකුරෙන් පටන් අර ගන්නවා characters 3ක් තියෙනවා කියලා නම් what you can do, right? You can say it is kind of A__, right? මම underscore දෙක පොඩ්ඩක් ඉඩ තියලා ලියලා තියෙන්නේ underscores දෙකක් තියෙනවා කියලා පේන්න, right? මෙහෙම ලියුවම A__ කිව්වම it means it is starting from A. There are 2 more characters. Likewise, right? If you know only the ending character, then if you think a particular name has 5 characters ending from A, so you are saying 4 underscores and a letter A. So this means this name has 5 characters and it ends from letter A. Right? And if you really don't know any of the characters, but you know how many characters are there in the word. ඔයගලන්ට අකුරු 4ක් තියෙනවා කියලා දන්නවා. අකුරු මොනවද කියලා දන්නේ නැහැ. Then you can choose only 4 underscores. Right? So that will choose you the words with 4 letters. Are you clear with the first pattern, people? Yes, everyone? Are we clear with the first pattern? Okay. Right. Now the second pattern, this says something like this. You know the starting character or some characters and you don't know how many characters are there to the end. In this example, this word starts with ABC and we don't know about the rest. We don't know the number of characters and we don't know what are the characters. So percentage indicates there can be characters like for how much, it doesn't matter what the amount is, right? So if we write this particular pattern, it will choose A, B, C, D because this starts with A, B, C. It will choose A, B, C as well because the first three characters are A, B, C. Rest of the things, it doesn't matter what is there. If you got a name like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, still it will be selected because it starts from A, B, C. Percentage indicates rest of the characters are unknown, the amount as well as the characters. Right? And this is the opposite of that. They don't know from which characters that they are starting, but they know from which characters or the character that is ending. Right now, in the above example, if you want to say names which starts with S, so you can say S percentage. So this indicates it starts with S, and the rest of the characters we don't know how many. So this pattern will give you all the names which start with S. Right? And if you type like this, percentage ED. So this will give you all the words, all the things which ends with ED. It doesn't matter from which character that they are starting. Right? So that is the third pattern works. That is how the third pattern works. Right? We don't know from what are the characters that is starting, but we know one or more characters which is going to be at the end. Right? So this kind of a pattern will choose W, X, Y, Z as well as Z, Z, X, Y, Z. If you had something like A, B, C, X, Y, Z, still it choose. 1, 2, 3, X, Y, Z, still it choose because all those words are ending with X, Y, Z. People, are we clear with the second and third? Yes, everyone, are we clear with the second and third? Okay. Then the last pattern, it says, you don't know what is the starting characters, but at the middle, you know, guys, this A and N are staying together. And there can be more characters after that as well. Suhara. Right? So this pattern indicates something like that. Right? So A and N characters will be there together. At the start, we don't know how much and what are the characters. And at the end, we don't know again how much and what are the characters that they have. So they will choose the things like Bandaravela. AN stays together. Candy. AN stays together. All right. So those kind of words can be chosen. So that is the way that the like patterns can be used. So let's see about the example. So here they are saying they need to choose the stores where the name contains A and M. Right? A and M letters together. Right? So we can write select asterisk from store information where city like percentage AM percentage. Right? So percentage AM percentage means starts with some characters, AM letters staying together and ends with some other characters. So there's only one place or one city which has that likelihood, which is the Gampa. AM stays together. So that record will be chosen. No other particular thing is there. Now, in case if I use, instead of AM, if I use LO over here, what would be the output, people? Which records are going to be there in the output? LO. If I use LO over here, instead of AM percentage, LO percentage. Yes, let me. Yes. Yes, Tatsarani. Right? Both Colombo and Batiklo, both can be chosen because LO is over here at Colombo and Batiklo is also having LO. Right? So the output is going to be this record plus this record. Two records will be there at the output. Right? So that is how the like statement works. Is that clear, everyone? Okay. Right. So now you can try the next 4 questions, as I remember, starting from 21. People, since I start the session at 12, I will be go a little bit further. Right? If you got any classes or if you need to leave, you can leave, but refer the recording. Right? And yes, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Yes. Try those 4 questions. 21 to 24. Right? I'll do it within another 5 to 6 minutes, right? 1:30, I will do it by 1:36, 7. Right, Lamai, are we done? Lamai, Tamalina in order. Can we test this? Do you want any more time? Right. Okay, so let's try this. So the 21st, it says view teacher details who has a name starting letter with S. So if we goes to the teacher info, there is one teacher who is starting the letter with S, which is Sarath, right? So that needs to be there. So I can say select asterisk from, this time I need to use teacher info because it is asking about the teachers. Where, so it has T name, right? Teacher name, like, I have to say S percentage, right? So the T name is starting with a S and we don't know what else is there, right? So if we run this, we will be taking T002 Sarath BSc, that particular record will be there, right? So this is going to be the answer for the 21st. Yeah, for the 21st. See whether you got it correctly, or if you got any mistakes, it's time for you to do the correction. Okay, so the 22nd says view student ID and date of birth. Now it says view student ID and date of birth of students who are traveling from an address ends with a letter A. Right, so we have to view the student ID and date of birth. So in that case, you can't use all. You have to say SID, select SID, comma, DOB, date of birth. From this time you have to choose what? Student info, right? Student info. Where, and the question is, you need to choose this student ID and the date of birth of the student who are traveling from address ends with the letter A. So like is going to go with the address, right? The column address, and it's need to be percentage A, because address which ends with a, we don't know what's at the beginning, right? So we select SID and DOB from student info. We choose these two because it is the things that they are asking for, and the address ends with the A. So once I run that, oh, they're saying some errors. What is the error? Oh, yes, after A, let me check. Ah, yeah, there you go. There you go. Right? How many records are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. 1, 2, 4, and 5. So what are the 1, 2, 4, and 5 students? One is S001 ends with the A, Kottawa. S002 ends with the A, Homagama. S003 is not ending with the A, so it's not been taken. S004 ends with the A, Kottawa. S005 ends with the A, Homagama. So 1, 2, 4, and 5 is taken. So this is going to be the answer for your 22nd question. Are we clear with that, everyone? Everyone, are we clear with that? Okay, great. So the 23rd. It is asking, view details of the students who has 5 characters in the name, start with a letter S and ends with a letter A. Right? 5 characters, start with a S, ends with a A. They're asking for the details. That means everything. So that means I have to go with select asterisk all from student info, where this time it is S name. S name, like what? Start with the S, and it says 5 characters are there. So 3 underscores and an A. This has 3 underscores, people. 1, 2, and 3. So it shows as together, right? And I wonder whether you got anyone like this. Right? Let's run this and see. Yes. You will be getting no output because there is no one like starting the letter with S and ending with A, which has 5 characters. Right? Because if you look into the tables, there are people who start with the name S. Someone is there, right? But it's end with the N, not with the A. Right? Question asks like end with A. So according to the question, this should be the correct query. But that query give you no output means like it query give you an output without no records. Right? With an output එකක් එනවා. This is an empty table. Right? So the table headers will be there, no output is there, no record is there. So if you change this as N, then of course the first record should be there because it starts from S, ends with an N. Right? But according to the question's requirement, the query should goes like this. So this is the answer for the 23rd. Right? So here you got 3 underscores. Right. So finally, in the 24th, they are asking view details of the names of a teacher who has the letter E at the middle of their names. Right? We don't know. At the middle means කොහෙද කියලා අපි දන්නේ නැහැ. E එකක් තියෙනවා. Right? So it is asking details of the names of the teacher who have the letter E at the middle of their names. So I have to select all again from teacher info in this time, their T name, right? Like percentage E percentage, because it says E is there at the middle, right? So if you look into the tables, E අකුරක් තියෙන කට්ටිය කවුද ඉන්නේ? නීලා කියන teacher ඉන්නවා. ගීතා කියන teacher ඉන්නවා. Right? So then again details end. Let's see. So we run this. Yeah, there you go. Geeta teacher and Neela teacher. Details are there. Right? So this is the answer for the 24th. People, is that clear? Okay. So you can do any corrections, and I'm going to end the session from this point just for today. Right. So we will be meeting next week physically. Right. So everyone, please come. I hope all the 4 problems are done now. So today, unfortunately, I can't at the class since I was ending my quarantine yesterday. So it's better. I thought it's better we have online this session. So by next week, we will be meeting, right? So be there. And yes, people, next week I have my little one's concert. So for that, I will be ending the class. Maybe I will end it to 1:15. If I got the chance, I'll go until the 1:30. If I need to leave a little bit early, I will end it for 1:15. Right? 1:30 යන්න පුළුවන් වුණොත් කරගෙන යනවා class එක, right? No changes will be happen, right? Okay, so thank you very much, everyone. I'll see you on next week for the same times, right? So thank you very much, right? I will put the recordings to the website so you can like search and you can refer if you want, right? So thank you very much, everyone. Have a nice day, and I'm going to end it from here. Right. Okay, everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.